How to forgive your parents. Whether you are the parent or you're the adult child, but you're having issues or there's a struggle between you and your child or you and your parent. Some things that I've learned along the way. I know that we can sometimes look back in our past or look at things that have happened in the past, and we can easily find fault with our parents, with maybe their parenting style or things we feel like they did wrong, or maybe they should have done this better, or maybe you felt like they treated your sibling better than they treated you. Whether it could have even been like verbal abuse. Maybe you went through a situation where you were physically abused. But you're basically struggling with, you still have a conflict with that parent. And what I have found is that the longer that you hold on to the past, the longer that you keep reliving those past experiences, the more that you are basically re-traumatizing yourself. I've come to the conclusion that, and I'm a parent as well, that you have to kind of let it go. I found that in the past that I may have wanted to confront the person, have a conversation with them, tell them my point of view, my perspective, where I was coming from, and that may help. But I have mainly found that the quicker you can get to a place of that parent did the best that they could do at the time, the quicker you can come to that point of truly feeling like, given the circumstances and given what that parent was dealing with or going through at the time, the quicker you can get to a point of believing that they did the best they could do. Getting to that point and then just releasing them. Just releasing them, because it doesn't help you. It doesn't help your relationship with that parent. It doesn't help the parent. It doesn't help anyone for you to continue to hold on to a grudge or hold resentment or just be angry. It really doesn't benefit any of the parties involved when you're continuing to hold on to whether it was a trauma or just a very bad experience. It doesn't help. What helps is for you to get to a point of forgiveness and get to a point of they did the best that they could do. And then just let it go. This takes a lot of work. This is hard, because in the past, when you may have wanted to revisit those experiences, revisit those life events, do the blame game, and they should have done this and they should have done that. It's real easy to like revert back into that behavior of doing that. And so you have to like stop yourself from doing that and say, I forgive them, and really forgive them, and let it go. And anytime you get to a point where you're trying to mentally rehash those past experiences, those maybe not so nice or negative experiences. You really do have to try to replace them with positive experiences, great things that you do remember about your childhood or growing up, or about your parents. You have to, as often as you can, try to replace those negative emotions with positive emotions of all the great things that you can remember. Because basically what you're doing is you're like building a new reality. You're like building a new foundation of, you know what, it's no need to rehash all of what you feel like went wrong, because you are aware that that does nothing to improve the situation. And so once you become aware of that, you then know that you have to move forward. And the best way to move forward mentally, emotionally, and if you decide to continue to have that relationship, the best thing for that relationship is not to rehash all that negative experiences. You want to keep then your interactions with that parent just as positive as you can. And if you find that either that parent or someone else is trying to bring up all those negative or past experiences, you have to basically say, you know what, no, I'm not going down that lane. I've forgiven them. I don't want that to be a part of our relationship anymore. There's no need to rehash that. There's no reason to go over that again. And if it comes to a point where you have to just remove yourself from that situation or remove yourself from that conversation on the phone, it's as simple as, you know what, I gotta go, I'll talk to you later. And you stop yourself from going down that negative pathway again and again. You just stop it. And then when you're in a better place, when you're in a more positive mood, then sure, you can pick up the phone and call them and contact them and keep it upbeat. Again, the minute that something may start going down that negative pathway or talking about the past again, you have to be prepared and ready to stop that conversation and say, no, we're not reliving that. We're done with that. But the best advice that I could give you guys, if you are struggling with this and struggling with any kind of pain that you may have gone through, and you find it hard to basically forgive your parents, the best thing that you can do is say, you know what, one, remember all the positive aspects of that parent. Forgive that parent and don't relive the past negative experiences. Sometimes if the parent is still kind of hell-bent on taking you down that path, you may have to have some time where you really, quite frankly, just can't be around them, right? If their presence or if their conversation continues to take you down a negative mental state or just puts you in a negative headspace, you may have to do something as drastic as, we need a timeout. We probably don't need to talk right now, or we may not need to talk for a while, you know, quite frankly, because you don't want to keep remembering that parent like that. You're trying to build a new image of that parent. And if they kind of refuse to let you rebuild this new positive image of them, then you may need to take some time apart and kind of keep rebuilding that positive image of them on your own, and kind of keep building yourself up. And then maybe after some time has passed, then you can maybe revisit that relationship. Maybe you can get back in contact with them and see where the relationship is at that time. But there is a thing, you guys, called loving someone from afar. You don't necessarily have to, talk to them every day. You don't necessarily have to be around them every day. You have to move on with your life, right? And you're trying to stay positive and upbeat. So whether it's your parent, whether it's your child, whether it's a friend, it doesn't matter. If you're trying to build a new positive mental space and emotional space for yourself, it doesn't matter who it is. If that person is bringing negativity and toxicity into your world, you gotta be prepared to remove it. You gotta be prepared to remove them. And it may not be on a permanent basis. It may be, just temporarily. But you have to at least remove them or remove yourself so that you get to that better place that you want to be in order to even deal with them. And if it just so happens to be that it is a permanent removal, you have to do what's best for you. When it comes to this self-love, you have to be selfish. You have to put yourself first. And I know that is hard. That can be very hard, especially when it comes to family members. It's like it's hard to get your mind around that, but you have to save yourself first before you are any good to anyone in any relationship. So I hope that helped you guys. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.